Friday edition of the Sports Den, coming fresh off of another Jag loss. Another one.
Consistent. They're consistent.
Another one. Man, I thought we had it last night.
Possibly the most consistent thing in my life.
I thought
Jag is losing.
I thought just for a minute, like at halftime, we're going to get let's start off ABC because it's the weekend. So you got to get to ABC. Like ABC is an absolute must for this weekend of football. Like this weekend of football is the best weekend of football for a couple of reasons. One, you don't have to watch the Jags game because they already played. Mm-hmm. That's maybe the best thing you got going on for you this week, peeps, is you don't have to get mad on Sunday. Like you can just relax starting tonight. Isn't there a game tonight? There's a good game tonight, I believe. I think is it Maryland play tonight? I think like Maryland, Iowa, or something like that tonight. But you got 4 days of really good ball. Tomorrow is amazing. We're going to get into that a little bit. But get to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. They'll get you taken care of. Anything you want, anything you need, whether it's whiskey or vodka or wine or beer or whatever, ice, snacks. We don't talk about the snacks enough.
They sell water. If a hurricane ever hit, everybody was talking about how every store was out of water. ABC wasn't out of water. They had plenty of water. Just people didn't think to go to the liquor store to buy water. And I'm just telling you that if you're running low on water, they do happen to sell that.
Is there a hurricane?
No.
Well, or are you just making that point?
There's no such thing. All hurricanes are dead in the state of Florida as of yesterday.
Oh, well, I thought it was November 1st.
No. The Cavaliers made sure that it ended a lot earlier than
you had me like legit thinking about hurricane season. I'm like, is it October or November?
No, it's November 1st. But this is the last month of hurricane season.
Well, just get to ABC. Make sure you have a good weekend. I may be ABC'd a little too hard last night. Woke up this morning.
It was your birthday, so you needed to do that.
Sure.
All kinds of people congratulated you on the internet. It's the one weird chick that really thinks you're hot. She congratulated you.
No, I appreciate everybody for reaching out. 45 officially now. 45 officially.
I know we got to talk about Jags real quick.
Yeah.
But you're officially, middle age now?
I mean,
or do you have to get to 50 to be
No, I think I would think if I lived to 90, that's a really good life. Right. So this would make me middle age. Yeah.
Okay. So, and I want to congratulate you.
Okay.
Because you don't dress like the stereotypical middle-aged white man.
Okay.
And I want to tell people, like, you can just go
on my Twitter. Congratulating me for
congratulating because we've had the mayor of Jacksonville, for people who don't know.
Lenny's our dude.
Yeah, Lenny's our guy.
What happened?
I had to correct him. I felt bad because he gets so much pressure.
You had to correct him?
I could not let this go.
Okay.
Because he's not there yet. I don't view him.
This is the kind of stuff that if you're going to bring up, we got to put in the show.
Okay,
we should have put this picture.
I sent the picture,
but I didn't know you wanted to talk about it.
I just thought about it when we were talking about your birthday.
So it's the shoes.
The shoes are the more egregious part because I expect
you got the picture up. Let me see the picture. I can go to it. It was in our group.
Yeah, it's in our group. I expect them to have better shoes.
But text, it's really the text or the tweet.
It's it's in the group text.
Okay.
Now the khaki, this is where a little baggy and the polo shirt tucked in. Yes, but he's a mayor. Like you got to do stuff like you got to go to your base. You have to cater to your base at all times.
Okay.
His base looks like that, most of it.
Okay.
But he got a little soft, so we could have put we got to get him some better shoes. At least some NMD. He doesn't have to go Pharrells or Yeezys or anything like that. But like,
man,
I didn't expect that,
man. You walk around the way you want to walk around.
He's not when you're quoting Jay-Z lyrics.
Why?
That's not what we expect.
Jay-Z don't let you download a song unless you dress a certain way.
No, but like people who like listening to Hove aren't wearing the you kids get off my lawn 13s.
No, apparently they are. I mean, I think what you have to realize is you're not far from middle age.
I'm not far, but
I think the other thing you have to realize is Jay-Z is middle age. He's past middle age.
Well, you're right.
Those guys that grew up with him, it's a new phase of their life.
You're right. Because he does have.
It sounds like maybe you have more to come to terms with than Mr. Mayor here.
If you ever see me in those things, man, like you feel free to not confront me because I didn't confront him. I just said, hey, Mr. Mayor, you're in another city. You represent the great city of Duval at all times. Let's just Let's get the shoes a little proper.
They were nice shoes. They were good running shoes.
You know what? It's like this. I have my running shoes that Doc told us to get.
Doc,
well, you were telling
come
me
on
before.
now.
You're right. You
I
were
was
telling
Hoka
me
long before Hoka was cool.
You are. But there's nothing cool about Hoka shoes.
They are when you walk on them.
They are great running and walking shoes. They are not like they're not the shoes that you want to go
forget how
fashionable.
ugly they are.
Now I will say this: they were so good that when I went to Disney, not Disney, because that's hacker. I went to the cool where the cool kids go, Universal.
Okay,
quite a few times because they had a pass that if you like bought a 2-day, you can go as much as you want. And I might have.
Absolutely.
I might have said bump the nice shoes.
Yes.
I'm going to wear the comfortable shoes.
Want to walk on clouds.
Yeah. So
let's get to the Jags. Is it 19 in a row?
19 in a row, man.
19 in a row. Miles, hit us, man. Hit us. Come on, Miles. Come on, big dog. 24-21, 19 in a row. I feel like for the second week in a row, you can't talk about the game without talking about a play call. The speed option play call, one, kick a field goal. That's for, and that's not hindsight. I think 90% of the people watching were going, yo, kick a field goal. You're up 14-0. You can make it 3 scores. We've talked about 3 scores in the NFL. You win.
It completely changes the way that they have to come out in the second half.
Yep.
You can't, like, they were at like 14 points. You don't have to change your game plan. You can stick to your game plan until they put you out of it. Now, if they would have scored the touchdown, yeah, great. But the field goal, again, 3 scores.
There's so little difference in 17 and 21 when you're when being up 17 and 21 at that point is what I'm saying. Like, it's 3 scores either way you carve it.
Right.
I didn't understand that. But then, okay, so get past that. And now you're going to run a play. And speed option is a great play call for like a 2-point conversion. Speed option is a great play call from like if you're 3rd and goal from the 4, right? It's things like that where there's a possibility of a pass, like a high, like it's a 50-50. And so the defense kind of spread out a little bit, right? You can motion them out, that kind of stuff, and they have to honor it. From the 1-yard line with a 6'7" quarterback or 6'6" quarterback, to run speed option is moronic. It's stupid. I don't care if it would have worked.
Bigger than that. How many times, like, isn't the goal to not get your quarterback bell rung? Like,
I mean, the goal is to score, but
no.
It
wasn't just that one. I'm like, we may be running this quite too many times. I want to use Trevor's athleticism, but I don't want to be running speed option or zone read or all these different things with Trevor, because if he gets hit right, you don't have Gardner anymore.
Agree on the speed option because you're literally telling him to pitch off of somebody, right? Like he's going to get hit. I think they found a pretty good groove with him on this on the zone read stuff, though.
The zone read better. Actually, not even.
You know what I mean? Like,
here's why I don't like it and why I don't think it consistently works in the NFL. We go over this every week.
Didn't it work last night?
It worked, yes, until it didn't, and then they shut it down. They basically shut us down outside of one drive with a penalty and a great effort from a running back.
Yeah.
But here's why it doesn't truthfully work consistently like that. So the defensive ends, and if you watch the Miami game, actually watch one of my hit them with the hymns, you'll be able to see this kind of really good. The defensive end has to keep contained most of the time. The hashes are so wide that him keeping contained is a lot different than it is in the NFL where the hashes are tight. Even on that play, people are like, pitch it to James Robinson. I think James could have got the edge. But the guy who tackled him was the linebacker that was scraping. That wasn't. I don't know which one they were accounting for, and somebody probably blocked it wrong because I don't know who he was pitching off of. But had he pitched it, those guys are athletic enough to be able to flip their hips to make it tougher. It doesn't mean he wouldn't have made the tackle, but it just wasn't a great 4th and 1 play call.
Made it tougher. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Like, if you want to run stretch.
Or if you just want to, if you want to pitch it,
pitch it. Like, but you're using your quarterback consistently, basically as a blocker, because what you're doing in that, the man has to account for it. They need to believe he has the ball. So if he has to pitch it, he's getting hit. If he has to run it, he's eventually going to get hit.
If you were going to run him, just do like a wildcat type of thing where you've got, fullback. Well, they don't have fullback, but multiple tight ends and sniffer positions, and just running. But to do that was just stupid, because even if he pitches it, now you're pitching the ball another 4 yards back when you're on the 1 yard line. Just the whole thing. I think it was a much worse play call than what they call it with the
the whirly bird.
Yeah, I think this was a much worse play call, because the whirly bird, I at least could understand the logic behind it. I don't understand the logic behind this at all.
I understand the logic behind the play, and the play would have worked if he had more time.
Yeah.
He would have had more time if he didn't do the whirly bird.
Well, I don't mean the whirly bird part.
No, I'll never forgive them for the whirly bird part. But the flea flicker, I get it. I get the flea flicker. But this right here, can't say I get it, man.
If they would have scored, we'd have been cashing today.
So the whole thing, I'm like, just kick the field goal.
Yep.
We come in, stop them. You can kick another field goal. We're good. We are in a good position.
So James made a bet early yesterday.
Yes.
I saw the bet and was like, yo, I want a piece of that.
A lot of people said they wanted a piece of that.
But see, what I did was I spread it out. So all I needed was them to win. It's like, so I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, I'm getting 1,500 at halftime. Because if the Jags won anywhere between 7 and 25 points, I was good.
Right.
And then what the hell, dude?
So going into the breakdown of the game, I see a lot of interesting perspectives by fans in the media. And this is where I made two posts yesterday that were unJags related, obviously FSU related, but or maybe 2 days ago I made the FSU one about, just something that the media put the spin. And I don't think people understand how strong and how much of an influence what you listen to daily actually has over crafting your opinions, because your opinions sound like the same crap that I hear on the radio every day when I listen. It wasn't it's like you're blaming the offensive coordinator. I'm sorry to tell you, 21 points in the NFL is a lot. 24 points in the NFL is more, obviously, but they scored on every drive in the second half. And it wasn't just like small drives, big hitting plays. They were long, time-consuming drives, every one of 70 plus yards or more. That means your defense was getting it shoved up their rectum. It was terrible because I said on First Coast News, they was like, what do you need to do? You need to run with James Robinson, and your D tackles have to do a better job of getting double teamed and beating them so that they just stop the run with Joe Mixon. You literally gave Joe Mixon and I had him on fantasy. I had no way to.
The linebackers aren't good.
They're not. The D tackles,
one of them is to your point. One of them, the way you mask bad linebackers is don't let them get blocked.
Right. One of them is good. Your defensive ends aren't good. And guys, and I thank Austin Lane for putting this up there. He only dropped back 7 times. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They run a 3-4.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen with your outside linebacker.
Yeah, y'all stop.
But the majority of the game, he rushed.
Yeah.
But you know what happened the majority of the game when he rushed? He didn't get there. So that's another frustrating thing. The frustrating thing, you're like, oh, well, we lost DJ Chark. We don't have a number 1 wide receiver. And I'm not blaming Travis Etienne. He can't help that he got hurt. I still believe Travis Etienne would have been there in the second round, where like most running backs are. Very good, could play wide receiver, but still not a number 1 wide receiver. It's a gadget if you're doing that. You don't have a number 1 wide receiver. You don't have a defensive end. You don't have a dominant D tackle. You don't have your corners stink. Your secondary. But this is my point. It's like if only we had enough cap space and draft capital to have fixed these issues.
Yeah.
And you didn't fix the issues.
The only thing they have is a quarterback and running back.
Right. And the offensive line didn't do bad.
No, they played well. They've been okay. They've been okay the whole year. Run blocking their money. And James Robinson, I'm not a second contract running back guy, but
give it to him.
Go ahead, because that dude's legit, man. He's fun to watch. The one thing that and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time because we got a lot to get into, but Joe Burrow came out and said he went and told the coach, get me to empty. I'm fine. Just get me to empty. I want to screenshot a couple of their empty formation sets from Monday's show. And I want to go over the way the Jags lined up to empty last night. It was Pop Warner-ish.
It looked very confusing. But, man.
It was like Joe Burrow, one is a dude now.
Mm-hmm.
That dude, I have this like gauge when I'm watching quarterbacks. If they drop back to pass and I already know what's going to happen, meaning I'm confident that every time he drops back, at worst, it's going to be completed. At best, it's a touchdown. They're pretty dang good. Joe Burrow's there.
Jamar Chase.
He legit, bro.
Nice.
Legit. But the way the Jags played empty, they gave them so many options that they just could sit and empty the whole game. And I don't understand, like, that's your NFL coaches with NFL players. You should be able to get a little creative against empty to where effectively a rookie quarterback, because he's only played, 9 games, doesn't go to the sideline and go, yo, coach, I got this. Just call empty. I got it from here.
See, and that's you're quantifying the idiocracy or however the hell you say it, of our defensive coordinator. And I want to say another thing, and we put this up on Monday. Did you see what happened the first time they went in goal line?
Yeah. They left the unrecovered. They did it last week too. On a punt.
It's like this, man. I want to blame the DC because your guys weren't prepared. But in one of y'all DBs noticed that, hey, there's a wide ass open receiver. We might want to cover that guy. And the crazy part is that I think Joe just stopped moving his feet. They had 11 in the box and still should have scored on the QB sneak. It should be impossible to do that. It's so much stuff. It was so much optimism going into the year. It was an exciting game for a half. Well, actually the whole time, because they were still in the lead up until they weren't. But the first thing when I saw that was the quote that you made on Wednesday about the game last Sunday.
Yeah.
Is that winners always find a way to win and losers always find a way to lose. And what the Jaguars did was they found a way to lose. And I don't put this on the players. This is squarely on the shoulders of the coaches, because the coaches did not have an answer for a tight end. They did not have an answer for a number one wide receiver. They did not have an answer for a running back. And then offensively, the drive you scored in the second half was solely based on, again, I think a penalty, your quarterback just being elite and being able to extend the play and having I think it was a great catch too by the guy who's made
Agnew?
by Agnew. I can't believe he made that. And a running back.
You got to get him more involved.
Which is fine. There are times where you got to bail your OC out. But when I look at what happened, they completely shut you down in the second half. What it happens is Cincinnati made adjustments. You didn't, and it sucks because it's so much money being paid. It's too much money being paid for on-the-job training.
You hate when I say this, but I'm going to say it. He's a script caller. Yeah. Literally, look at the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's a script caller. Once he gets off that script, run it back, dog. Just if that's what you like, right. Run it back.
Like,
you ain't got to get fancy. You mix it up a little bit if you want to.
Bobby, it's not school. If you want to say something, just go to the mic.
There's a mic right there. There's a mic, Bobby.
All right, so you know more football than I do. What do you make of like Joe Burrow literally calling out Joe Cullen in his press conference? Exactly what you were just saying about, like, he literally said, "Oh, well, he used to, and the Ravens, he used to like doing this, and this, and that was my favorite whenever they would go to it." Like, did you hear any of that?
No, it's tendencies. Like, that's what I'm saying about Burrow, and I think Trevor's got that same thing.
Right.
That doesn't bother me because I think he probably shouldn't have done it in the press conference. Probably should have held it to himself for future reference for him. But every quarterback does that. Every quarterback, like, I'll put it this way. During COVID, we would have Friday sessions where there was a specific defensive coordinator, right? So we'd all get in there, and it was our pro guys, and it was, okay, this week it is, who's the guy that Bounty Gate?
Greg Williams.
This week is Greg Williams. We're going to go and all this stuff. So we're going to go find how he plays everything, how he plays every formation, route concept, all that kind of stuff. So I think every quarterback has that. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, he said, get me to empty. Like, yo, I am Peyton Manning on year 9, and I'm about to just rip you apart. And he did. Like, that's the insane thing with all this.
And then it's just I don't.
But I will say
yeah.
this: back-to-back weeks they should have won. It sucks, but it's the reality of where we're at with Jacksonville right now.
I'm gonna be. This is why it sucks more for me. Not more for me, but why I'm more panicked. Like, yes, they're 3-1, playing phenomenal, young team, a team that kind of mirrors us, a team that we should win. Last week, even though they got better, more veteran, they have a better receiver, young team, younger quarterback, elite, but still, okay, that's a winnable game. We coming out here. What's gonna happen when we start facing the savvy veterans? The teams that are, which is when you get to the teeth of the schedule, that's what's coming up.
Well, you got Tennessee next.
And you just saw what Joe Mixon did, who I didn't realize he was that tiny. Derek is going to give you a Rydell enema.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And if you try to clog the box, who knows when Julio Jones is going to finally be say like, yo, I'm Julio Jones. Or Brown is going to finally say like, yo, it's time to eat. That's the problem is that even losing, right, is fine. But I don't see, I saw hope in the first half. I saw dogs in the first half. I saw something that, like I know we always like to say that no college team can beat an NFL team. I saw somebody who I think Bama, this year Bama's team, but last year's Bama's team could possibly give a challenge.
Somebody's going to run with that, and you know that's not true. You know that Jack.
Well, no, I don't mean like
somebody's going to quote you on Twitter saying that.
Listen,
and I know you better than that.
You're
gets smarter
us clicks
than that.
And likes. That's fine. But my point in all of that is this: they're so far away. They're so far away. There's still pieces that they need that are glaring holes. And the problem is, and what you as a fan base should be upset about is that, okay, you can't solve all of those holes, but you could get a lot of them fixed. And what happens is, and like what made 2017 so good, everybody talks about Calais, right? But they don't talk about how the year before, it was that free agency class.
Yeah.
Those guys got a chance to gel with the people who were on the team. And now you mirror that with the new free agents. Next year, you're just going to be hoping that a whole bunch of newcomers are going to come in and solve your problems, which is the same problem we had this year.
I could argue that a little bit in some places, but I get your drift. I think the safety they brought in Jenkins is good. I think there's some pieces that they haven't had in the past. The problem is we're tired of being in rebuild mode,
right?
But that's where we're at. We are 2 years away, if done right, from this point, because I can't hold the previous drafts against them.
This isn't their fault. The frustration is Josh Allen is a guy. He's not elite. He's a guy.
Terrible.
He's terrible. Taven's terrible. You got rid of CJ Henderson. You got rid of CJ Henderson because you felt like you liked what you got in was it Tyson, right? Is that his name? The boy from Georgia.
Oh, Tyson Campbell.
Tyson Campbell. I was about to say Tyson Chandler. He's the worst type of corner. He's in position, but he doesn't have any ball skills. So he gets picked on.
None.
You've wasted a ton of high-end draft capital that if given to a competent GM, you probably would be in a better position. But you had too much faith in somebody who hasn't given in this scenario hasn't given you reason to have faith in them yet. He's a winner in Urban. That's why he has the job. We don't know what he's like here yet, and that's fine. Let him still make the decisions. But we know what the assistant GM is.
Yeah.
We know what you got to get rid. You have to get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
And you didn't. And it still stinks and reeks of old Jaguar stuff just with a little Lysol.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're not wrong. Friday, so I want to move on a little bit. And I think this next segment, we got the perfect sponsor for, actually, in general. Executive Health and Med Spa. Get over there, because you're going to see in a second what this segment is, and we're going to need some help from the two younger gentlemen here in this next segment. But Executive Health and Med Spa over off of St. John's Bluff. Get over there. They have everything. Like, listen, dudes, you don't need to be walking around with low testosterone. You don't need to be walking around like feeling worn out all the time, or your body's not recovering or something like that. Like, that stuff can be taken care of. that if you always feel tired, that's probably why. And I can tell you, because I've done this in the past, the minute you get that fixed, you're going to feel
a lot better,
a million times better. We're telling you where to go get it done. Executive Health and Med Spa over off of St. John's Bluff. If you're having issues, let's say, for example, like you're a tender, you love tender, but you know what? Tender's not even doing it for you anymore because you can't finish the job. Like, I mean, go to Executive Health and Med Spa. It'll change your whole tender life. I don't know anything about tender. I'm about to learn about it.
Yeah, I'm confused on all of this stuff.
But, whoa, dang, okay, well, never mind. I guess we're there. Dang. Executive Health and Med Spa, since you cut me off here and was like, let's get to it.
That's all right, kind of what his problem is.
So if you're listening to us instead of watching this, I would say watch us on YouTube. But if you're listening to us, I'm going to describe this video that we're about to show. It's of a young man. I don't even know what game. Let it play.
It's the Mets.
Okay, it's the Mets game. He's on his phone. Gotcha. Good catch. He's on his phone, and he's on Tinder, and he's habitually swiping right without looking at anything. Like nothing. No, I guess he can see the picture, right?
Yeah, he sees the picture.
Does he swipe left a single time?
I don't think so.
Hit replay on that one time. I don't think he did. But he just steady swiping right.
I mean, he goes from the thumb, and when you know he's serious, he goes straight index finger, like trigger finger.
Right.
Because he needed to go faster. He's so out of control that it's like it almost took him out of the app.
Right. You can just pause it there.
He put like it's this funny. Denzel Washington and Jamie Foxx were having an interview. He's like, I'm from a while around the way. I'm leaving here with something. That's basically what he said. So that he's leaving this stadium with a chick.
So let's.
So can I ask what Tinder is? Tinder just like, is this just a date, or is this like when you get on Tinder, like
it's going down?
You know what's going down when you.
Is this a dating app or just a straight booty call app? What is this?
I say booty call.
Pull the. There's a mic in front of you. Pull
the mic towards you.
I say it's more of a booty call app. You get people on it who try to pretend it's a dating app. So they'll start off with, if you're just here for a booty call, swipe left. But that's not the case at all. It's a booty call app.
So, so this strategy that this young man, let's give him a name. What's his name?
He's definitely Hispanic. I'm going to go Hector.
Hector. Okay. All right.
Hector's where those aren't, what do you call those?
Timberlands.
Not the Timberlands. It's a specific, because it's the color. I couldn't think of the name of it. Anyways, yes.
Okay,
he's wearing the original
this strategy that Hector is employing. No,
that's not smooth. Javier. Let's go with that.
Okay, horny Javier.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Horny Javier.
So this strategy seems bold to me. Well, follow me here, because what's the return after you swipe right? What happens?
Okay, so you finish after he's done casting his net.
Probably a little closer.
After he's done casting his net, he's gonna wait a little bit.
Whoa. Casting his net is what you're calling this?
Yeah, he's casting a wide net.
Okay, carpet bomb, but yeah,
a lot of likes. He'll wait like an hour or so. So when you get back,
he ain't waiting an hour. I see him.
Well, no, he's at a baseball game, so he's got time. Hey, he's got time. This is the first inning, so he's always got 9.
How do you know it's first inning?
I'm just assuming he's got 9. We know baseball's 9 innings.
Okay,
I don't know much about it, but I know that. And it takes a little bit of time. It's not a pitcher. A lot of hitting, a lot of scoring going on. And
you know what
he's trying to do.
You may be right, because it looks like they're warming up. This game hadn't even started yet, or it's ended, or it's done. Because I don't play it. I want to see the people. Are they sitting down or are they walking out? Like
these people are like talking to each other.
Okay.
Like they just seen each other.
Okay. So, all right, continue. So you cast your net. Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
I like
that.
Okay. So when you come back, you get the shiny notifications of all the matches you have made. So even if you didn't like the person or you weren't attracted to a person, you can just, delete them off, but you have a wide choice, a variety to choose from at that
point. Real quick, Miles, you're gonna have to get like right in front, just so you know. Okay, so I swipe right, and now it's in somebody else's hands to say, okay, I want to talk to you. Is that correct? Is that how this works?
Have to also swipe right.
Okay, they have to also swipe right. Okay, you following this?
Mhm.
So that happens, and so now you get a notification.
You're a match.
You're a match. Okay. What happens then? Does it open up like some thing
Like
you
a
can
DM.
chat or
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So when they swipe right, let's put yourself in Horny Javier's shoes here. They swipe right. So now is when you go read the profile and see what's kicking?
Yeah.
You go back
Go
and
ahead.
check it out.
All right, Bobby.
All right, so I have a different method than horny Javier.
Okay.
For Javier, yes, he's just swiping, and then I guess once he matches, he'll check it out.
Okay.
That's his success story, I guess.
Okay.
For me, when I get on, I usually don't do any swiping the first day because I like being the prize. You know, like he has to. He
You
has to
said you're coming
swipe.
for me. I
He
got
has to
it.
swipe and then wait to get a match. Right.
Okay.
For me, I make one. I'm off for the whole day. I go back. I'm swiping. I'm getting matches while I'm swiping. You know, I need that. I can't be waiting in the dark. You know.
Oh,
Wait, when you say
like,
you're
you don't
on-
know that these people like you until
They,
you swipe. So like you're going in blind.
well, they
Yeah.
can swipe on you first too.
Right. They have, but like I'm saying, but if they swipe on me, I'm not gonna get an alert that this person likes
you
me.
don't know who swipes on
Oh.
you
So I have
until
to
you both
swipe
swipe
back.
on each other.
Unless you pay for the service. Yeah, unless you pay for the service.
I've never been down that bad.
This sounds so
This
complicated.
does. So Horny Javier is not out here sending notifications to everybody right now.
Like, he seems like he's very New York. His hair is freshly braided. He's got his Timbs on and his skinny jeans. Like, in a baseball game ticket is relatively cost something.
Not now, not for the Mets because their season's basically. Or he probably he
Well, I'm saying
$5 probably.
there's some nice girl at the call center that he could have asked to come to the game with him. I'm assuming he
I
works
got
at
you.
a call center. And it would have been a good
Okay.
date. Get her some popcorn because, like, to be honest with you,
I wonder if
people
that's who I
talk about.
talked to. I wonder if that's who I was talking to at Mind Body.
I probably was Joe. His name's
Joe,
Joe.
damn it, Joe.
You know, people assume like a fancy date or a fancy dinner is like, you know, take me to Ruth Chris, do this, spend $200, $300 on a date. Have you ever been to the movies recently? When you might as well. It's cheaper to buy the movie theater.
Oh, no
The
doubt.
entire theater now than it is to get like
If
to buy
I
a ticket.
if
and
I
get
was
popcorn.
single right now, the only way I'd go to a movie is rent the whole theater.
Right. It
There's no
really
doubt.
it legitimately doesn't cost that much more money.
Yeah, I mean, if
It's
you're gonna
more
flex,
impressive.
flex.
Yeah, flex. Because it's gonna cost. Okay, it costs you $200 to take her to go see the new whatever love drama that women are into right now. Okay, it costs you $225 to get the whole movie theater and
Mhm.
the popcorn and all the other stuff. But Javier could have probably brought somebody in. Odds increase of not getting one of the three dangerous letters: STI, STD, KID. At the end of this, you're you know. But again, I don't understand. Like what's the like? Why can't you just find somebody on? I guess he wanted somebody. Now it's your area, right? Or is it like just random people in the city?
No, it's gotta be your area.
Yeah, you can go within a certain radius and change that from 25 to 50.
So he's probably trying to see who's willing to get knocked down at the Mets game, huh?
Yeah, can he?
Exactly.
Could he? So
That narrows your scope.
so he could. You could go into there and say this exact address.
You can go within
That's
5
kind of
miles.
creepy, actually.
Very
Within-
creepy.
Okay, within 5 miles.
It just seems
I guarantee you, somebody else swiped right on him, and he didn't stay for 9 innings.
I just think he's doing it all wrong. He's tendering all wrong, Javier. You got to do better, man.
I just don't understand these dating apps. Like, this is how you get kidnapped. Like,
Oh.
just like how horny must you be to swipe like that?
Well, this video that somebody took just ruined Javier. It just ruined him because now,
But
like,
we don't have his face.
we got enough.
Those Tims are this build is New York.
If you
Every Puerto Rican in New York looks like
if you are walking, if somebody swiped right and they're walking in, Javier's already there, and they catch the angle we catch, they're turning around and leaving. They're like,
you're
no.
right though. That tattoo that he has.
Yeah, there's
might
too
be-
many. Yeah, no, that's
A lot of people on Tinder are actually like this. It's a scummy place.
So, but
thank God I'm married, bro.
so now
I swear
you
to
know
you.
what? Now I understand why it's a big deal when like a man or a woman catches their mate with a Tinder profile.
What do you mean now you understand?
I didn't know what Tinder was. I thought it was like TikTok or something like that. I wasn't 100% sure.
Now I understand.
But no, but I guess it's like
somebody gets mad when their spouse is on a dating
it's
app.
amplified. Like a dating app, okay, they're possibly prospecting to leave you. Tinder, they're not prospecting to leave you. They're prospecting to get some action. Like now. Like that's pretty, and you don't just get one of these apps and then you just caught them. Like today, they've been on the app when it says active since 2019. You're sitting here like, damn, that's messed up. You know, I just like,
all right. Well,
what happened to the days when you just kind of see somebody that's attractive and you just say, hey,
COVID, man, can't be all out here in the middle of a pandemic. Hey. I mean, what you gonna do? Walk up to a bar with a mask and then you take her home and she got no teeth?
I have said as many people who some of my friends who argue the hardest against masks. The mask has been more successful for you than it has for other people. Like it gives you all they're looking at is eyes and nose. If you have an ugly eyes and nose, God just made you. You should become like what
ugly eyes and nose.
Like think about like the Apostle Paul was celibate. Like you should just be like that. You should go save the nations. Have you ever thought about being a nun? Have you ever thought about being this? Because you know, there's something cute about everybody typically. But if your eyes and nose are striking people the wrong way, then maybe, you know, apps and stuff aren't for you either. But
I mean, we're not going to go down this road. We got to move on. College football pick 'em. I shredded it last week, by the way.
I don't even care anymore.
I got the stats if you'd like them.
I'm dead last. I have to be.
You're not actually, which is a minor miracle. I was 8-2. You were 4-6. I'm 18-12 on the season. You're 14-26 on the season. By the way, college football pick 'em brought to you every single week by Greenacres Sporting Goods. Get to greenacresporting.com for all your hunting, fishing needs. Guns, knives, bows, arrows, boots. Javier may have gotten his boots from Greenacres. You never know. He could be a Greenacre spokesperson. Get to greenacresporting.com. What's the special they have now? You know,
$299 Taurus handguns, 9mm. They have the $699 AR-15.
We still got the AR-12 drawing.
AR-12 drawing. October 12th, we're doing a concealed class at 11 a.m. You must go on our Facebook page, RSVP, that you want to come so that we can know exactly what to get. That's $49.95 to be exact.
It's $50.
If you bring $50,
if you come in asking for a nickel,
they're not going to give you a nickel. I just want to let you know. So you need to have 95 cents on you. Okay.
Yes.
Just make sure you're aware of that. I don't want you to
don't listen to our show if you're going to wait for a nickel.
But we got about 15 people coming to us, so the class should be fun. We'll probably stop it at 20 because we want to get out of there in an hour. And yeah, so they got all kinds of stuff there. They sell candy and stuff too, probably. if we're in a hurricane, go there, get your bullets, get your bullets, and get your water from Greenacres Sporting Goods.
Get some Swedish fish and a gun.
Yeah. Who hasn't thought lemon heads and
AR-15? You know what would go really good with these Starbursts? An AK.
Yes.
Let's get to the college football pick 'em. Big week of football ahead. First game we'll start with, and you can join us on ESPN.com. College football pick 'em. Go to the sportsden group. First game is Arkansas. Maybe the game of the day.
Right.
Arkansas at Georgia. Weird. Yeah, weird. It's a noon kick for like maybe the game of the day. Like that doesn't seem right.
Not at all. But ain't no way, boy.
17.5.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Not if they've watched these games, man.
What do you mean?
There's no way they're giving Arkansas that many points. I know Georgia's defense is good. I don't know if their offense is good, but like 17.5.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points, man.
It's a lot of points. Arkansas, I just don't know that they're built yet athletically to compete with Georgia. That's the one thing. I think for them, the ride ends on this. Like I don't know that Georgia can score on Arkansas's defense that much, but I think Georgia's defense can score. Like
fair.
I'm taking Georgia in the points
With
in
the
this.
points?
Yeah,
Oof.
I am. I think Georgia, as much of a hard time as I give them about their quarterback play and the way they handle quarterbacks, it's the best defense in the country. Period. In Athens, those dudes go, man, and they're fast. And I just don't think Arkansas has the cats yet. So 17.5, I'm giving. You're taking Arkansas?
I'm gonna take Arkansas.
Okay. Honestly, I was thinking about taking Arkansas until I realized you were going to take Arkansas, and then I was
You
like,
might as well. This is the best advice I can give you is don't parlay, and whatever I say, take opposite.
take opposite. All right. Moving on, Michigan and Wisconsin. Wisconsin favored in this one by 1.5. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It must be something. Has Michigan been playing like the Sisters of the Poor or something? Like, am I missing something?
I mean, I'm just going by what I mean, the Wisconsin Notre Dame score was very misleading. It was a close game in the fourth quarter, and then Notre Dame just poured it on.
Right. It was also an awful football game for most of it. It wasn't.
Well, aren't all Big Ten games awful?
Fair.
I mean,
Fair.
when was the last time you saw an entertain Michigan, Ohio State back in like the mid 2000s was dope, and that was the last Big Ten game that I was like, oh, this is really entertaining.
So Michigan's played two decent teams.
Who have they played?
They played Western Michigan. That's not who I was talking about. They played Washington, who came in with some hope. Now they're not good now, but they were considered that then. Northern Illinois, and then they beat Rutgers by 7. Which Rutgers is 3-1, and they've played a lot better than what
I'm going Michigan.
Yeah, well, with 1.5, that's basically saying who's going to win. So funny bet. Prop bet that I almost took because again, my boy OJ was up in Atlantic City. That's who made us take the bet. It was 1,500 if you thought that Virginia would win between all the scores were 1-6 and so on and so on. No, it was bigger than that because it was the margin was so little, and I said I think Virginia is that much better than Miami. And I started to take it, but it's like at first the reason I didn't take it is because he said it has to be 1 point. So I was thinking like, damn, I'm never betting that somebody's going to just beat somebody by 1 point. That's very specific. So basically, that's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah.
So this is nothing more than a pick 'em. So I'm going Michigan too.
Okay, moving on. Louisville and Wake Forest. 3-1 Louisville at 4-0 Wake Forest. Wake Forest favored by almost a touchdown, 6.5. You can go first.
I'm going with the ACC champs, potential ACC champs, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Oh, I was like, both of them are, aren't they?
Well, no, not right now. I don't think Louisville's ever won the ACC.
Oh, I thought you said potential ACC champs.
No, Louisville's not potential. Louisville's just they've been on a good run. They lost their
you're
top
going
linebacker. Wake Forest is just a better overall team than
this is a tricky one because Louisville has athletes. They have some dudes that if they get going like they did against UCF, I don't think Wake has athletes to answer. But Wake is so well coached.
I think that's really where it comes. Is Wake is so well coached.
Yeah,
that this will be it. The cool thing is, after this year, none of those staffs will be there, so it'll be great. They're going somewhere. There's a bunch of people going to get fired, and hopefully they all get hired and get away from here.
I want to take Louisville on this. I'm going to take Louisville on this. I think that quarterback poses a lot of problems.
Really good.
They had a receiver that's like, who at Wake is going to cover that guy? Like, I mean, I don't know anything about Wake. I am going off the assumption that based on their academic standards, that in most cases, they're going to be a step slower than what Louisville is.
I'm only going based on because I've seen them both in consecutive weeks.
And
I really want to pick Louisville because Derek Nicholson was a former teammate of mine. We had a chance to beat Louisville, no matter what. There was never a chance when we were beating Wake Forest. Wake Forest scored on the first drive.
You're picking with a lot more logic than I am.
Yeah, so I mean, that's it. So
this next one is easy for me. The next two are easy for me. Cincinnati, Notre Dame. Cincinnati favored by 2.5. It's at Notre Dame. It's a 2:30 kick. I'll get this over with. I'm going Cincinnati. I think this line is grossly low. I think Cincinnati wins this by double digits easily.
I'm going with hopefully the next coach of Florida State.
Brian Kelly?
If it doesn't work out with Mike Norvell. No, Cincinnati's coach.
Man,
He ain't leaving Cincinnati.
Come
I'm just saying. I'm being hopeful.
don't do Stoops again.
You can have.
Don't go back down that road.
No. I'm not. I'm saying, we can, like, as my friends call it, it's sad because a lot of these people were so hopeful. Now they're playing. He's like, y'all playing fantasy coaching staff. Like, he's like, no. He's like, you don't get to play fantasy coaching staff now. You got to stick with who you called all of us.
That's
my
funny.
boy Post, like, y'all called us stupid. You stick with your damn staff now.
So you're taking Cincinnati.
I'm taking Cincinnati.
Okay. Ole Miss at Alabama, 14.5 point favored is what this opened at 20. This opened at a 20-point spread for Alabama. It's been driven down to 14.5 with Ole Miss money. I'm going to let you go ahead on this one. Because it's easy for me.
I'm on the Lane train, man, but like, well, I got to figure out who have they. Okay, I see why. They're going to put up points. I think Alabama can beat them by more than 14.
So you're taking Alabama.
Yeah.
I am absolutely positively have no reservation about this taking Alabama. People are like, well, did you not see Alabama against Florida? Different. Here's what's different about it. Florida squeezes everything in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they bring you in tight. They're pretty good up front. They're disciplined, and their run game's a little tricky at times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's because it's so crowded, it's hard to defend. So sometimes you can actually get on a roll and get blocks based on leverage and angles, not necessarily athleticism or strength, and you can get going. Ole Miss spreads you out. And so if your front five just one-on-one can't handle theirs, you're screwed. That's what's going to happen tomorrow. Alabama is, and I think the world of Matt Corral, I think he's the best quarterback in college football right now, or at least in this upcoming draft class. But I think Alabama absolutely throttles Ole Miss, and the slippers come off of Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin.
Ooh,
that's what I believe to be true. So I'm going to take Ole Miss. I may have taken Alabama. I'm going to take Alabama, and I may have taken Alabama at 20.
Wow.
I'll put it that way. Next game, 3:30 kick, Ohio State and Rutgers. This is the one that I really don't understand the line. How is Ohio State 15.5 point favorites against anyone right now? I'm going Rutgers just because of the spread. Like, if Florida State was playing Ohio State and they gave them 15.5, I'd take Florida State. If Miami was Ohio State's not beating anyone by 15.5 right now.
Well, the last two games they won by more than that.
Who they beat?
Tulsa and Akron. But the only team they've lost to.
And when did they get ahead on those games? Because weren't those games super close?
Tulsa, I believe, was close.
I think Akron was giving them a run for a while.
Can I see this?
Regardless,
yeah,
I'm taking Rutgers. I don't. Rutgers is a well-coached team. They're 3-1. They've played in at least one big game that I know of. Michigan last week, I believe.
Yeah, Michigan was the only team, and they were in a battle.
Yep,
with Syracuse.
Yeah, who beat Liberty?
Ooh, fair.
So I'm going to take Rutgers here.
All right.
Over Ohio State. Are you taking Ohio State?
You might have just convinced me to go with Rutgers on that. It's good logic.
So you're going Rutgers?
I'm just trying to win the week, bro. You got to win lunch.
Okay. All right. Oregon, Stanford. 3:30 kick at Stanford. Oregon 7.5 points favorite over Stanford. You go first on this one.
Did something happen at Oregon to where? Because didn't Stanford just got blown out?
I was hoping you were going to tell me. That's why I wanted you to go first, because I don't understand. I think this should be like a 20-point spread.
Yeah, and I like Stanford.
Did somebody get hurt? What? Yeah, I'm asking you. So you don't know of anything that happened at Oregon?
No, I'm going Oregon, man.
Me too.
Bump that.
Okay.
It's nothing that these people are crazy.
Oklahoma, Kansas State. Oklahoma, number 6 in the country, somehow still undefeated, has survived some tests. I think Nebraska's better than what we thought they were going to be, so I'm not going to hold that as much against them. They're 10.5-point favorites playing at Kansas State. I'll save the drama. I am taking Kansas State in this one. May win it outright, by the way. Like that could happen. This is that part where you talk.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna roll. You know what? I'm rolling with Spencer. Spencer's upset. People are booing him. He's in a less hostile environment.
Okay.
It seems like they're at Kansas, right? Kansas,
Yes.
K-State. So like, playing at home is rough when they boo you at home. So like getting on the road sometimes, just feels more comfortable. So I'm gonna go with Spencer. He's gonna get them by 2 scores.
Baylor and Oklahoma State. Number 21 Baylor, number 19 Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State favored by 4.5 in this one. I wanted to take Baylor last week, and I don't know why I didn't. But with that being said, the reason I wanted to take them is I said it even last week. I think every year there's that one game that they play at home that they beat somebody they're not supposed to beat.
Mm-hmm.
That happened last week. I don't think it happens this week. And they're not playing at home. They're playing at Oklahoma State. I'm taking Oklahoma State, although I should have taken Baylor last week.
I'm going with Baylor. No reason why. Just
okay.
Feel good about them right now.
Okay. The last game, Auburn, LSU. At LSU is a 3.5-point favorite at 9 p.m. Eastern, so 8 p.m. in Death Valley. A bunch of drunk Cajuns.
Mm-hmm.
It's not drunk like what you think you were last night or last weekend. This is a different level of drunk. It's Friday. What time is it? Just 2:30 on Friday right now. They will be tailgating in the next 5 hours in Baton Rouge. And they will not stop until that game is over. I don't know what Auburn's doing at quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be Bo Nix or if it's going to be Finley, who just transferred from.
That's not North Carolina State.
LSU.
Oh, LSU.
Yes.
Oh. So
yes.
Got a little.
So I'm not real sure what they're going to do. I actually really like the Auburn staff. I think they're doing a good job. I think they're kind of in a Paul Johnson situation where they're dealing with a bunch of people who were brought in to run a certain system that was very specific. And it's going to take them a little while. They got a quarterback coming, one of my guys that's going to help them tremendously. But the quarterback's not there yet. I don't know how good LSU is, but I'm telling you that 8:00 kick at Death Valley is real. And so I'm taking LSU based off the strength of that and that alone.
War Eagle, fuck you. No, it's just a play on Roll Tide. Remember when Coach O?
Oh,
when they beat Alabama?
Okay. I was like, what?
They didn't do anything to me. I don't really have any beef against Auburn. I just like Coach O. That's legitimately the deal.
So you're taking LSU?
Yeah, I'm taking LSU.
Oh, I really didn't know which way.
Coach O said, Coach O, if you remember the Coach O video,
War Eagle.
No, I did. Instead of Roll Tide.
No, I got you.
War Eagle.
I got you.
Bleep you. That's what he said.
That didn't work out well for him, though.
He beat Alabama. He won a national championship that year.
He said that after he beat them.
Well, yeah.
The next
year, it's hard to repeat as a national champion. The only team that has been able to do it is Alabama. So, I like Coach O. Coach, right now, there's a lot of disarray. I don't know how they're 3-1. It's like every week somebody either leaves the program, somebody's suspended or can't play, and he's just winning. He's 3-1.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if they're any good.
I have he's no supposed idea. To be every week he's getting fired, which means it's going to happen sooner or later. And he's got probation. We talk probation. Some NCAA.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We talk about the Urban Meyer years at Florida needing to be at 30 for 30.
Oh, without a doubt.
LSU.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened at LSU as a program the last 5 to 10 years would make an amazing 30 for 30. Everything from stealing money from a children's hospital.
That's just and then they won. That's when they
literally
won
being on a wiretap, paying basketball players and still keeping your job to rape allegations.
Telling the athletic director, no, I'm not fired.
You're not. Yeah, I'm firing you. No, you're not. I'm here. I'm staying. Thank you for the meeting.
And the athletic director's fired.
Yes, the athletic director ends up getting fired when the coach is. It's wild. I can't wait for the Netflix special. I'll be dialed in for it. I'm going to take LSU, like I said, just based off of the strength of it being at night. Last thing on Friday, 2 quick things, just kind of randomness. Make sure you get to thehumidor.com this weekend. If you get to thehumidor.com, type in sportsden, all lowercase, all one word, you'll get 20% off of your entire order. And at some point you get free shipping. We don't know when that is. We think it's $100, right?
I think $100 is safe.
Maybe spend $200 just to be really safe. Yeah. Get to thehumidor.com, type in sportsden, all lowercase, all one word, all your cigar needs. 2 quick things. Throw the first one up for me here. I found this interesting. I saw this today. This is a Max Preps writer, Zach Poff, who had this to say about Arch Manning. Arch Manning, who is a junior in high school, will be the best Manning of the family. I don't know Zach. And I know we live in a world of clicks. So I have to make one of 2 assumptions. Either one, somebody's putting pressure on you to get clicks, and you got a mortgage to pay and a family to feed, and you needed something to give you an extra, $1,500 on the month or something like that. Maybe he liked the new Yeezy jackets that came out the other day, like something like that.
$1,000, whatever.
So it's that's the first option, or the second option is maybe Zach's an idiot. How do you?
I think both can be. Multiple things can be true at the same time.
That's true. I feel bad for Arch Manning. Like, his last name's already Manning, and now you're a junior in high school, and you got Zach here calling you the best Manning of the family. Like, there's multiple Hall of Famers in that family. You haven't even gone to prom yet. Like, this isn't fair, is it?
It's not. Coverage isn't fair, but it's worse now, but it never has been fair. It reminds me of this. I didn't play at the same time that Casey Clausen played, but I did. Jimmy Clausen, I think, was a year after me. I think that's the one that went to Notre Dame, ended up getting drafted by the Panthers.
Right.
So they're nowhere near the Mannings, but every brother got a Division I scholarship and started at some point. I think 2 of them went to Tennessee, and then he went to Notre Dame. When he came out, he was considered not the number 1 overall prospect or the number 1 quarterback in the nation, but the best high school quarterback to ever come out. Then after that, they had the young man that ended up going to LSU, Giroux or something. It was one of them Cajun names, but he was supposed to be the next Michael Vick. And then a few years later after that, Xavier Lee. Then it was Tim Tebow.
Yep.
Then it was this. So every year, some quarterback's coming up that's supposed to be like the greatest or the next best thing. It's a combination between he's not. I don't believe he's stupid. I don't believe a lot of these people are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb, naive, foolish, but wanting to check.
Mm-hmm.
Having a media company that's independent on my own, and like that, we basically have a great model with Fifth Quarter. Like, these guys can write what they want, and our goal is to really give guys an opportunity. Write up, get you some quality reps, and if 247 of them guys want to come, go. We'll bring somebody else in. But unless you're getting paid, you can't. That platform. These guys getting paid per click. They're putting stuff out there, and I'm one of the biggest perpetrators in the world of it. When I wrote my first article, I kind of thought we would beat Alabama.
See, I differentiate this though. Like if Arch Manning was a college player who had done something, I'd be like, okay, Arch Manning's a high school.
But
maybe I'm too sensitive to this.
Pushes the envelope. And no, you're not. It's just the way, the nature of the beast. There are 3 things on the internet that sell per Chad Scott.
Yeah.
Gambling and gambling advice. Hell, we got people just off of that one little fun thing that we did want us to like, hey, you should go get this guy to do gambling with you, or y'all should do it once a week, and we all just put in a sportsden pool. I'm not saying I didn't think about that, but I am saying that that's not my lane. Porn and niche porn. Everybody talks about what you can find for free.
Why have to differentiate the two?
Because you can Google porn and you can get all the free porn you want. But like for example, and I don't know why it freaks me out. Feet is this huge subject or something with men, but there are women who are getting paid like $50 per picture,
absolute freaks.
Just for feet.
Feet are nasty.
Kid you not. And then recruiting. If you can figure out a way to gamble, porn, and recruiting all together, there are some freaks who are going to pay $1,000 a month for that. I say all that to say is, you write this article about Manning.
I'm thinking fantasy draft.
Yeah, hey,
Literally. But
Yeah.
anyway, go ahead.
This thing probably got so many clicks because of the
No
Manning
doubt.
name. And so what happens with him, if he's getting paid per click, or what's worse than the pay-per-click stuff is that's getting it out the mud. I did it. What's worse, but at least you're getting paid. You're getting like a direct benefit to you. What's worse is these guys that they're going to get paid the 5 cents because these writers don't make a lot of money. They make maybe like $5,000 a year to do that and some credentials.
Some writers. There's some writers.
No. The top dog.
banking.
I ain't never heard of this dude before. I can promise
No,
you he's not top. He's not top of the list.
No.
But or like I know how Sports Illustrated works. The Sports Illustrated model, they'll pay somebody $60,000 to run the site, and then your job is to make that whole site run off of the $60,000. Now there's incentive bonuses or whatever, but what's worse is some of these guys are just writing for the title and the accolades to potentially go from 5,000 to 6,000.
Right.
So you're just a suck up. There's no need to put this, and I agree with you. It puts again. I just use something more local. I don't like the pressure that's put on Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And I think Travis Hunter is amazing.
The recruit going to
But he's
pledge to go to
Florida
Florida State.
They putting all the savior and woes of the world is on an 18-year-old that doesn't play the most important position on the field. That being said, if he goes and knocks it out the park, it's gonna be a millionaire in college. So it's kind of
No, he's gonna be a
now
millionaire.
if anybody has the proper surrounding and is well equipped to deal with it, it'd be him.
By the way, I like the Manning cast on Monday nights. Have you watched it yet?
They are great.
Yes, I love that. I don't know how some of you people are hating on that. Like y'all are just
hating on it.
Yeah, like I see it on Twitter. They're like, "Oh, this is stupid." No, it's literally two dudes being themselves with a ton of good information, dope interviews.
What's the best about it is that when they talk about football, it's not over your head.
Yep.
But you know.
Yep.
And here,
Eli's fantastic.
What this stuff has become, and even that's why I like, it got kind of old because he started missing. But when Tony Romo was doing it, I tell people this all the time. Nobody gives a damn about what some of these writers are saying. Some of these fancy words that they're talking about, nobody's come in there. Nobody comments that. Nobody who really is in the game. Oh, I heard this from a coach. You heard it from a coach who probably tried to make themselves sound smarter than what they were.
Yeah.
You're only using it to try to make it seem like you know more about football than the person to the left. Because the only difference between the person on the couch and 90% of the media is the fact that you work for one of the majors.
Yeah.
You're fat and eating potato chips watching the game just like them. You've never played it. You've never been in the film room. Here are two guys who have played it at the highest level, won Super Bowls, been in the film room, and are telling you it's just a damn flat route.
Yep. And just chilling doing it.
Chilling.
Like,
they're not telling you, well, you have to take the circumference of the diameter. You have to see what the wind resistance. See, what happens is on Thursdays in October, in an odd year, minus a leap year, they are statistically 35% more apt to run the post corner concept. Like, no, like people just like nobody goes into a game thinking that.
Peyton getting on to McCarthy for not calling a timeout live was amazing this night. It was fantastic.
He would do as a player.
Right. Like it's good theater. Last thing, one of the funniest news stories I've seen in a long time. I couldn't not get to this. This is amazing. If you can't see it, if you're listening, the headline says missing drunk man spent hours helping a search party look for himself. So when I read the headline, I was like, okay, this is going to be one of those when I read it, it doesn't sound like the headline. Right. It's exactly like the headline. My man went out for a hike or something like that. They didn't know where he was. He got drunk. He heard some people, saw some people, joined in a search party, yelling out his name for hours, and finally went, I'm here. Like, that's me. Finally realized it was him they were looking for.
He didn't see that. Just makes it sound like he had an epiphany. Like, oh, wait a minute, they're looking for me. He actually, because I heard this, like Charlamagne and them on the Breakfast Club were talking about it. This man actually said, wait a minute. Who are we looking for again?
But after he heard the name.
Yeah, but it was after a while. He's screaming out the name. So who exactly is this person we're looking for?
But here's where I'm confused. Okay, this was not, I don't forget where this, Turkey. Okay, so it's in Turkey. So it says that they'd gathered as search parties. Now, if I hear that you're missing, James is missing, I'm going to join the search party. I'm going to assume Bobby don't really know you like that, so I'm not going to put that on Bobby. I think Miles would be there searching, right? Like there's going to be friends of yours searching. If all of a sudden you walk up, aren't we going to go, yo, he's right here. Right. Like how did this guy's friends not go?
They might have split up. But I will say this is dark. Were they socially distancing? Were they wearing masks? I mean, I don't really know how this stuff works, but if they're wearing masks,
I'm going to go on a limb and say the guy that had been missing was not wearing a mask. The drunk guy.
Fair.
What I think.
He might have got sober. He might have sobered up and been like, you know what? I don't want to catch COVID out here in Turkey. But you would think, which kind of is funny. It kind of makes me think that. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe the family called and said he was missing. And because it's in the woods, they probably went and got like actual experts to go find him, and they were sitting there waiting. Because if
don't you have a picture? I've never been to a search. I'm sorry if that makes me a bad guy. I've never been to a search party.
No, my friends don't go hiking in the woods.
I'm assuming that if I, out of the goodness of my heart, were to say, "Oh man, golly, this person is missing," I want to go help find. I don't really like bugs or anything, so I doubt I do in the woods. But I'm assuming they give me a picture. I don't know.
That would be nice.
Am I wrong on that?
No, I mean those are all valid things. Like this isn't the 60s, where it would have been difficult to have just pictures, or you take a picture once a year and you may not. Just think about how some people are now. They take a picture in August. By the time you see them in December, they're two different weights.
That's true. You know what I have thought of though? Like you see those sketches of be on the lookout for this man.
These sketches,
right? That man could be right next to me. I'm terrible with how people look. Like if you show me a picture of somebody and say, "Go find this guy," and he's here, you're gonna just identify. I wouldn't be able to. There's no way. Like I don't understand how people have this like talent of they saw America's Most Wanted like 6 months ago. And then call the police tip line because they saw him at the grand opening of Culver's down the road. Like, I mean,
I've never understood how people are that perceptive.
That's what I'm saying.
Surroundings like that, they know how to do that.
So I'm not alone in this.
No, you're not.
Like the milk carton thing.
Yeah, I tell people like that all the time. Like a lot of these people today, we would never be able to find them on the milk carton because they've got eyelashes now. They've fixed their cheeks. They've got the Brazilian butt lift. They've got
nobody drinks milk anymore.
Yeah, that part too. Almond milk, not my kids. we drank whole milk today. We got one update real quick before we leave. Blake, who's friends with the young man I know really well, DeMarcus Walker. Said that people in certain tax brackets and of certain status don't use Tinder. There's a special type of Tinder that they have. It's a celebrity Tinder that only matches you with celebrities. So
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, because a lot of celebrities are terrible people.
Oh, we'll say one thing about those. Those are like invite only type apps too. Like you have to be approved by some celebrity board. They got to be like, yeah, you're famous enough, you're a celebrity, and then you can join those apps. Call me back.
Listen, okay, my birthday was yesterday, so maybe it's just me getting old. If this woman I'm married to leaves me, I'm out the game, bro.
No. I'm gonna put this. I don't know if you're aware or not.
I'm done.
You'd be able to use social media the way that God intended social media to be used. You wouldn't need to swipe right. You wouldn't need to swipe up.
No,
push X or whatever the hell else is you got to do with these things.
Push X.
You would see somebody, or they would see you.
X.
Hold on. Whatever that lady's name is, she would be looking for that.
No, don't.
If they found out that, hey, I'm Denny, he's not. I'm gonna preface it before and after. He's not. But they found out that Denny Thompson is looking or curious. Your DMs would be saturated.
No,
And
you're misunderstanding.
You would need to. You would just need to. Actually, you would swipe left because I think when you swipe left, it automatically deletes the DM.
Yeah.
So that's what you would be doing. So you would need to go and.
It just the whole thing seems exhausting to me. It does, man. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's a conversation for another day. What now?
No way. This gotta be.
You got a DM?
That's not her. No.
I'll show you. Why are you pressing X so hard?
I will show you after this because if that's who's in his radius, if he's not shooting at it, I'm whooping his ass when I see him.
Nobody
DeMarcus.
knows. Oh, is he listening?
No, but Blake is showing.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Okay. All right. We got to run. Great football weekend coming up. Enjoy. Get to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. For all of your alcohol needs, you should go today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Go today. Start tailgating tonight for a great weekend because that noon kick, man, you're going to need to be ready. Game of the day at noon. You're going to need to be there. Join us on the College Pick'em on ESPN if you want to. We would appreciate that. And we will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.